Hello, fellow plant enthusiasts. So I'm here with my buddy Greg, and he's going to show you some of the plants he has in his bedroom. But first, if you look outside the window, he lives on the third floor and facing south, so he gets so much light that his plants do really, really well. So now let's have Greg talk about his plants.
I don't have a presentation prepared, but I have a lot of plants. Coleuses.
Yeah, so let me turn the camera around. Okay, so Greg, talk to me.
How about the pitcher plants that you gave me?
Yeah, I gave you these, what, 2-3 years ago, was it? Or
Been at least a couple, 3 years ago maybe.
And it's huge.
My first foray into carnivorous plants.
Yeah. And then what other plants do you have over here? I see the Coleus is down here.
Yep, lots of Coleuses, and I forget what these are.
Yeah, I can't remember off the top of my head at the moment either. And then over here, what else do you have?
Madagascarensis.
May I?
Yes.
Or would you like to?
Go for it.
So you have the Drosera madagascarensis down there. And I'm not sure which one this is. That the brevifolia or different? I'm not sure what kind of Drosera.
I don't remember.
And I see you have some leaves from that one that you're hoping to propagate.
Mm-hmm.
And you do have some more in water, right? You're comparing the ground propagation on soil directly to water propagation. And a lot of people, they talk about propagating sundews in the water method, but I always had them rot, and I've had much better success growing them on soil. So how long have you had those here? Like, did you plant them at the same time?
The cuttings?
Yeah.
Yes, pretty much the same time. The cuttings in the soil, I made this terrarium for the big sundew that I have there. And
Okay.
It hasn't really, it's been growing great, but the cuttings haven't really accomplished much.
And how long have you had these cuttings planted? Like 2 weeks, 3,
2 or
10?
3 weeks maybe.
Okay, so hopefully they'll start sprouting. Even the water was 2-3 weeks,
Yep.
the ones in water?
That's correct.
Okay. Hopefully they'll start sprouting and we'll see which ones work best. And then...
Would you like to see my bonsai sundew Drosera
Yeah, there's no...
in an egg carton?
There's no real sundew called bonsai, but you know that's how they advertise them when you bought them. And I never have luck when I buy a lot of seeds on the internet. I don't know how old the seeds are or how they were harvested, or some people may buy seed packets and just divvy them up to make a little money. That's my thought on them, but at least the peat moss is sprouting.
Yes, we do have some growth, just not the sundews themselves, I don't think.
Hey, it's nice to have some sphagnum, live sphagnum.
Mm-hmm. So you can grow live sphagnum off of peat moss.
Exactly. And
I've discovered.
Takes some patience. Now, how long have you had that planted?
So that's probably been there for a couple months, month and a half.
That's not long at all for peat moss. Sometimes it takes longer. But that's the beauty of a humid environment. So now tell me about the spider plant over here.
This spider plant, a friend of mine, someone behind the camera, actually threw an old dying cutting off of the plant at his mother's house. His parents' house, and I planted it, and I've already transplanted it to a bigger pot because it's really growing good now. It's been a few weeks now, a month now.
And you bought a new plant pot today to plant it in.
Yes, I did. A very large one. It'll be a while before it goes in there, I think.
But yeah, anything you plant here seems to flourish against this window.
Most things.
And I see you have the blinds at an angle down, so as the sun's up, it shines down on the plants.
Correct.
And let's look at your carnivorous plant bowl. Is this a piece of lemon balm?
I believe not. I believe it's just a weed, but I wasn't sure.
Yeah,
we pinched some off just yesterday, I think, and squeezed it to see if it smelled, and it didn't.
Yeah, it doesn't smell like lemon balm.
I believe it's just a weed.
Yeah, cool. Maybe it'll
It
flower
just
for you.
randomly came from seed, though. I don't know where it came from.
Well, sometimes, they're found everywhere, or they wind up in here. So what, I see you have a Sarracenia purpurea.
Yep, I bought
some Dionaea muscipula. And is this a juncus growing in here?
It just came with the sphagnum.
And check out that Drosera spatulata. How long have you had this planted for it to sprout? Sprout a stalk of flower, or for it to flower?
Let's see. I made this maybe was it a month ago?
Wow.
A couple months ago?
And look,
Somewhere in there.
you have a nice picture going from the side. Here's a growing point for it. And hopefully this will flower for you in the spring.
All of these Droseras came from the same plant.
From the mother plant. I think you need some water here. I see some shriveled up Venus flytraps though.
Are they shriveling?
Yeah, they need water.
It's the sphagnum is somewhat damp.
Okay.
I've been watering it and spraying the things that need it the most.
That side is against the window. It
So it
probably
gets more-
dries out sooner.
Correct. And this guy might be choking it out.
You may want to remove it, plant it
Yes.
elsewhere. And then here are more Coleuses.
I'll get some water right now.
And Greg has gone to get some water right now. Oh, that was quick.
I'm Speedy.
Yeah, we'll call you Speedy Gonzalez. That was a great cartoon back in the day.
Yes, it was. The sundews need a lot more water than the flytraps do, though.
Yeah.
They seem to grow in very boggy, very
They do.
very wet conditions.
It's a lot easier to have the kill the Venus flytraps if they're waterlogged than the sundews.
Yeah, they get root rot if they get it in the
Yeah.
what do you call it, the thing that the roots come out of,
Yep.
for the technical term.
So Greg, we're out on your patio, your balcony, and we see you have some more carnivorous plants out here.
Yes, I brought them outside because the flytraps like to have some dormant time during the winter, and I'm going to give that a try this year.
And it's September and your flytrap's flowering. That is so impressive.
Yep.
And check out these spatulatas, the Drosera spatulatas. They have nice flower stalks.
Yes, and these are all from the same plant that was in the other room.
Wow. You propagate them like crazy, don't you?
I think they propagate themselves.
And what other plants do you have growing on your balcony?
We'll start over here.
Okay.
I have a three potatoes I planted in here. At least a couple of them grew nicely, and I haven't reached in to see how many potatoes there are in there yet. And this is a geranium that was given by a friend.
Cool.
And I got lots of spinach plants and several kale plants. Most of them are small.
Wow.
I bought a few of them that were bigger.
So how do you and your wife enjoy these two lovely teal chairs as you guys are sitting out here with all of those plants taking up leg room?
Well, we have to tiptoe through to get to them and move them around as we go.
Ah.
So we need more planters on the railings, I think.
And I see you have a beautiful gardenia over there and a couple hanging plants.
Yep.
And you
Petunias.
have nice hanging plants out here as well. You have a lot of Coleuses, man.
Well, that's what I was saying. We have lots of Coleuses. We will probably start selling them.
And there's your petunia, and check out that purple plant,
Persian sheild.
Persian sheild. Looks
These are impatiens that I just got from Lowe's.
Oh, did I call them petunias? My
Oh,
bad.
The petunias are on the hanging planters.
Yeah, up there are the petunias.
And this is basil that I bought, and I've made multiple cuttings off of. It does great out here.
And look at your bloodleaf.
Yes, still pretty purple, pink.
Yeah.
It's shriveling a little bit here and there, so I might have to give it some plant food or something.
Yeah.
And here I actually got some celery and ate some of the celery and just planted it, and it's growing.
Wow.
It's
Do
great.
you have any roots sticking out the bottom of the pot yet?
Not yet. I
okay.
actually just barely planted it in there. I had it in a different place, so
Nifty.
I just fed
Yeah.
this.
Oh yes, you can see
Venus flytrap.
you can see the, what is that, a moth or a firefly or?
I'm not sure. It's a long bug,
flower.
kind of soft shell.
Okay,
So
interesting.
these sundews that have flowered, the flowers will come out, but very, very briefly, like a couple hours, and then they go back in.
Wow,
But they're all from the same ones that we had in the other room.
nice. Awesome. So tell me about these plants that you purchased in one big grouping.
Yep, I got them online in a single purchase. Ended up when between shipping and the basic price ended up being about $3 a piece
Not too shabby, is it?
for a bunch of terrarium plants. So 3, 6, 9, 10 of them.
And I see you have some palms over there, and you have a paulownia, known as a watermelon begonia, some petunias with nice red veins. And then I see your variegated miniature wandering Jews not doing too well. Mine died as well. I think we need to practice, both of us, on how we can keep those alive, because they're nice plants, aren't they?
Yes.
Let me zoom in on what's still alive. And so which one is this ruffled leaf one?
I forget.
Because they had them labeled. So among these, you have the Chinese money plant, the parallel peperomia,
I believe that's in the back now.
the Bolivian jewel, dragon's tongue, snow white hemigraphis, which is probably maybe one of those, the red Fittonia, parlor palm, snowbush, green pear plant, and the peperomia. So you have a couple different peperomias in here, according to the list, and I don't know what all of them are. I believe that's the pear plant. Some of these are not tropical plants that I have in my collection. Usually when I get a plant, I like to research it and learn more about it. I do have a watermelon peperomia and a video on those. They're called paulownia. I can't remember the species off the top of my head at the moment, but they like high humidity and they don't like being around air vents, from what I understand. And then Fittonias originate in Peru. They come in various color varieties. But among all these, I really like that one there. So now you said you were planning on putting these in a terrarium. It looks like it's going to be a good-sized terrarium, doesn't it?
Or more than one.
Or more than one. Were you going to have any live animals in there?
Other than the springtails, I'm not sure.
What about isopods? Get you some nice
Get
rubber
some.
duck isopods.
Mhm.
Be good to go.
That would be great.
So Greg, speaking of springtails, it turns out you have a shipment.
Yes.
Are they going to be jumping out of here?
They can, but they probably will not.
I don't know. They like to spring their tails.
They do, but usually they're not likely to just go.
And they have
It's
them
hard to see them.
on charcoal. What variety is this? Oh, I see them there. They're little gray ones. Yeah.
Yes. Tropical white, I think they just look gray right now
Okay.
because they're so tiny.
Nice. And how much do these typically go for on the internet?
These were $21, I think, before shipping.
Wow. And you don't want to add isopods?
I would certainly consider that for the terrariums that we're maybe building with all those plants we just looked at.
Yeah, isopods go well with springtails and terrariums. They both help with the removing all the extra debris that as plant leaves start to age and rot and stuff.
And if you get mold, they'll eat the mold.
Yeah.
That's why you get them as a cleanup crew.
Yep. Well, Greg, thanks for showing me your plants at your window.
Thanks for showing them off.
And yeah, best with all this growing and your propagating of the Venus flytraps and sundews. And hopefully you'll get something going to start selling things.
That would be cool.
Yeah. Well, folks, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe.
Happy planting.
Exactly.